actually one of my coaches, Logan, he came up with Shuriken Fight Series.
Yeah.
So I wasn't taking all the credit.
All right. Today I am squaring up with owner of Shuriken MMA, the founder of the Shuriken Fight Series, coach, father, all-round good dude, Jason Vorster. How you going, Jay?
Hey man, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Good to see you too.
Thanks for the interview.
So you're leading up to your 16th Shuriken Fight Series.
Yeah. Correction, go back. We've done about 14, 15 shows leading up to Shuriken Fight Series. Proving Grounds, Rising Soldiers, Retribution.
Is that what most of all these places?
Yeah. And so we're running out of names. And actually one of my coaches, Logan, he came up with Shuriken Fight Series.
Yeah.
So I wasn't taking all the credit.
All right.
We'll have to give him some credit.
Okay, yeah. Logan?
There we go. And so we needed a name to obviously go Shuriken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like UFC, like XFC, like everything else. And he thought about it and Shuriken Fight Series, and it just stuck. So we kind of used that.
And
but I'll take it. Don't tell them I told you.
We'll cut it out.
Yeah.
So looking back at from those first fights you've fight nights that you set up to this one, and it may seem like I'm blowing smoke up your ass, but it's the biggest MMA event in New Zealand, and what you've done for New Zealand MMA, and just like you kind of, it's at a proper arena and stuff. But
yeah, it's pretty cool, I suppose you can do it at a smaller venue and take money from the bar and do all this, but I think you kind of lose the credibility and you lose the whole production side. It's a production, man. It's a good show. You go there, if you're sitting at a table or you're sitting in a GA seat, it's quite a show, and all the fights and the music and the sound and the smoke and the lights. It's got to be good. It's got to be a good night, So and all the fighters help obviously make it a good night. So yeah, the whole production side we've kind of taken to the next level. We kind of don't skimp on programs and lanyards and this and that, and like maybe some other shows do. Who knows? But yeah, we try. I've got a good team of guys. We all just rally together and help. I don't do everything. Sure. So we all work together. It's pretty cool, and it's got to a stage. Watch your space. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, thank you.
Watch your space. You ain't seen nothing yet.
What
Just watch your space.
What goes into setting up some of these nights like this?
Yeah, man, it's hard. The cage takes 4 or 5 hours to set up alone.
Is this the cage it's going to be?
No, it's bigger than this.
I was thinking when I saw this is quite
it's tight. It's big. It's much bigger. It's 25 feet, 30 feet. So it's a big cage. It's a lot of work, a lot of physical work. So I've got guys to help, and the tables, the chairs, everything, man. It's quite a big production, and then pack up afterwards at 12, 1 in the morning. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. So I wish we could just leave and just go somewhere and go to the pub and have a drink, but no, man. Yeah, so...
Is that the dream where you get to the size where it's like, cool, we can afford to pack up and set up the cruise? All right.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Nah, I'd probably never do it. I'd just end up doing it all myself if I had to. But good work ethic, man.
Yeah.
All the guys in the gym, they got good work ethics. So that's, just constantly plugging away. I like doing all that stuff and being involved in,
When we've spoken about it before, you said the key to the success is matchmaking. So what goes into the matchmaking, and how do you kind of say, this person's going to be good with this person? Actually, so everyone knows the expression, styles make fights.
Yeah.
But people kind of say it, just be like, everyone just says it, but doesn't really know what it means. Can you explain what it means?
Matchmaking is hard, and I'm lucky I've got a good vibe with all the coaches, touch wood, and I'm close to most of them. I think it's also because of the matchmaking, man, you start mismatching a few fights. Every now and again you'll get one wrong. You get talented people, and I'm sure Israel was talented in his first fight. I actually watched him in his first fight. I actually judged his first fight, one of his first MMA fights. It was at Supremacy, I think. He was fighting some guy called James someone, and he jumped off the cage. He did that Anthony Pettis kick off the cage, and then I thought, oh wow, I said, geez, this guy's going to be special, And you just get some guys that are a bit better than other guys. So, you can't match every fight perfect, but generally I'd say on the shows, the fights are matched so well, man. Most people have got a 50% chance of winning, and due to, athleticism and blah, 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 and power. But generally the fights are pretty well matched, and that's why the coaches keep on giving me fighters to match. So, so you don't mismatch your fighters. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse, you know.
Is it a lot harder matchmaking pro fights than amateur fights?
Yeah, in saying that, yes, but we just don't have enough pros in New Zealand. So we have to bring over pros from Australia, and now this show we've got fighters coming from Saipan. I mean, do you even know where Saipan is?
No.
Yeah.
Who's coming from Saipan?
Never heard Sterling.
I thought he was coming from Guam.
Well, no, Saipan. I also thought it was Guam, but it's near somewhere there,
Right.
one of those islands, whatever. And Australia as well, Florian, Sammy's guy. And so we don't have enough pros in New Zealand. You know, they've kind of all fought each other as well. So, you know, so yeah, we got to outsource. And it's not that easy sometimes when you don't know the fighters, you know. You do a bit of a homework, but yeah.
Do you think because you're putting in all this work at the forefront, it encourages that grassroots level to come up, and then eventually there will be more pickings?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had a grassroots show on Saturday night in this cage, and we had like 7 fights, man, and they were pretty good, They were pretty good, and I've actually used like 2 of them for the show, you know. They fought, they enjoyed it, they won, and then they want to fight on the biggest stage. So that's how you do anything. And then nobody starts in glory kickboxing, or nobody starts in the UFC. You start in your in-house shows, and then your shows, and then you progress. So it's all progressive, you know. So yeah, definitely in the grassroots level, and people don't realize how important that is, You know, it's very important.
Talking about professionals, this is a big assumption, but is there a frustration that when fighters kind of get to that level in New Zealand, city kickboxing is pretty much the end-all be-all of trying to get into the UFC because of the relationships they have?
Of course, yeah.
So do you have like fighters who jump ship and move things because they're after those relationships and stuff? And after those paths?
Yeah, you know, of course it is. I know there's a number of people, and a number of people that move to CKB. You also got to understand, maybe they feel that and they get better training there, but also with the relationship that they have with the UFC, with the UFC fighters. Of course, Eugene's a great guy and he's doing a great job, you know, and he does have a good relationship with the UFC. So, you know, that statement is pretty true. And also, a lot of the pro fighters train together, you know, and I don't think Eugene puts his gloves on and starts sparring with Israel and Dan and everyone else for that matter. He's busy coaching. So those guys train together with all the fighters. I know that a lot of the pro fighters train in a certain time in the morning. So a lot of the gyms, the smaller gyms, maybe don't have enough guys to spar with or train with, and you know, especially on heavier guys at 100 kgs or 90 kgs.
Well, that's something Navajo's been struggling with, right?
No, he's struggling to get training partners, and they're bringing guys in from Australia and stuff to fight, and you know, Tyson, Pedro, and all these guys are training there. So yeah, man, it is pretty hard. You know, being so small in New Zealand and so isolated. I don't think as a good a job as CKB are doing, there's a lot of gyms that are doing a great job, you know, with coaching sides and getting guys up to that level. I don't think it's the only gym in New Zealand that's on that level, you know. There's a lot of gyms down south and all over the place that are pretty good. There's some good fighters, man. You know, Matt Bale is out of Core MMA. He's good. He's one of the top prospects in New Zealand.
And then a Māori kid, JJ, from I can't remember the name of the gym in Gleneden.
Yeah.
Bellator.
Oliver, yeah, of course. So he's doing great in Bellator, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. Don Bruno's doing great in Brave as well, out of Auckland MMA. So yeah, you know, you can't. People also get starstruck and stuff, you know. They want to train with all the best guys and stuff, which is understandable. You know, people love the All Blacks. They want to go train with the All Blacks. It's going to think they're going to make them better. You know, maybe they do. Of course, your training partners also make you better. You know, your coaches do a certain amount, but your training partners do a certain amount. You're training with good, talented people. You're going to up your level. It's, you know, stands to reason. Yeah.
What kind of future can you see for MMA in New Zealand?
Man, there's a good future at the moment. We're on a rise at the moment. I speak to all the coaches and from the gyms, and there's not one gym that's actually not busy. You know, our gym is busy. Our gym is packed to the rafters. We have 60 people on the floor. You know, and all the gyms that I speak to are busy. So I don't know what's happening. You know, if it's just, you know, with all the social media and with all the stuff that we're getting through the UFC at the moment with the guys fighting and stuff and all the mainstream stuff. I think it's just picking up. I think it's on a bit of a upwards trajectory. So yeah.
How important has CSN kind of been to the growth of combat sport in New Zealand?
They're great. They do such a good job, you know. They've just helped enhance SFS as well. You know, we've always put on a good show. I like to think from one of the first shows we ever did. I mean, there's Armageddon in 2010, I think, or 2011, and we brought over like 3 South Africans to fight, and Brandon Rowe Party and all the guys. There was a huge show. That was one of the biggest turnouts we've ever had at a show, actually, funny enough. There were like 3,000, 3,500 people there. And so with regards to that, we've always done a good production, but I feel, you know, they've just helped us just enhance it, especially with the streaming and all the, which is important nowadays. Obviously, you know, streaming, everybody watches online, and with all the marketing and stuff and all the digital stuff that they do, you know, you got to collaborate and work with people, eh? And I'm glad to be working with Oz and Taurus and his team and you guys and everyone there. You know?
Do you think there is a future where an organisation might form and centralise MMA in New Zealand? Because the current format is gyms put on their own events, basically. Is that going to be the solution because of the size of the market in New Zealand, or do you think something will come forward like X or Eternal?
No. Actually, we all fall under the Federation of New Zealand Mixed Martial Arts Federation. That's our federation in New Zealand. No one, not even the UFC, can come put on a show without going through the New Zealand Mixed Martial Arts Federation. They go through them and they get signed off through them. So and they are busy in the moment putting more systems in place for that actual thing. And it's also just to combat any cowboys just putting up a gym in their back garden and having cage fights or not doing proper medicals and not doing things. So we kind of, you know, you still got to look after the sport on a whole. You know, this is some people's livelihood. They fight for a living. Some guys run gyms for a living. You know, so yeah, we're just trying to keep the sport as safe as we can, but also just grow it, you know, to the best. And they're doing a great job as well.
Well, promotion-wise, because I guess what was the organisation you said? NZMFAA?
New Zealand Mixed Martial Arts Federation. That's a federation that all MMA falls under in New Zealand. You know, most countries have their federations, and that's the federation we go under.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the Nevada Sporting like a commission.
Yeah, like a commission. Yeah. Just regulates the sport a lot easier, you know, and keeps it a lot safer and you know, going forward. Yeah.
Well, when you're talking about the growth of your gym, I caught an MMA class yesterday. I watched it.
Oh, okay.
And it's the amount of people that were here and your coaching methods as well, the kind of the game-based styles. Like I saw, so you had to cut them behind their knee for the takedown and stuff.
Yeah, you know, you're comparing. Every gym has pro fighters or fighters, amateur fighters that they're trained to fight or to make one, they make a living out of it. And your gym is based up almost like 70% or 80% of recreational of people that come to the gym to learn MMA just for fun, just for fitness, just for weight loss, just for anything, because they want to do the sport. You know, they're seen on TV. They're probably never going to fight, but those people make up 70% of your gym. They buy all your clothing, they buy your equipment, they support the gym, they do everything. You know, so you need everyone in the gym. You know, that's why the classes are busy, and you kind of got to. It's not that easy running a gym like that. You know, a big gym. It's easier training 3 or 4 killers at your garage, you know, as opposed to trying to get 200-300 members in the gym and still keeping fighters, still keeping recreational guys happy. So, you know, if it's not fun, why the hell are you doing it? You know, nobody wants to come to the gym and throw up every day and puke and everything and that, you know. So it's got to be fun to a certain degree. You got to give them kind of what they want, you know. And finding that balance it's not that easy sometimes. We know they should just be doing drilling non-stop for 3 hours, but nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to come to the gym and sit in the corner and bridge or roll or just do shrimping for 3 hours, you know. So you got to try give them a bit of that, but also a bit of the good stuff. They want to do what Conor McGregor's doing. They want to do what all these guys are doing, and they see on the TV, and they want to be the Israel Adesanyas and stuff. Even though you know they've got to crawl before they can walk, you know. But yeah, so it's just getting that balance right. And I think if you've got a good culture in your gym, you can train, you know, fighters as such, and also train recreational and work together and build up the gym as a whole. If the culture's good, I think you're okay. You're gonna do well in your business, you know. And I don't really want to do anything else. I'm just sitting behind a desk for 8 hours a day.
Oh, I used to be a builder, and now I sit behind a desk, mate. And you notice the difference.
I'd rather stick needles in my eye. Yeah.
Because how long have you been in the fight game, like running gyms? And because it's a family business, right? Since you're 8.
And I'm 52 next week.
Wow.
So my grandfather, my father, and me, you know. So yeah, man. Who wants to do anything else? All these guys, all these coaches, and my friends. I can't wait to get out of bed and get to the gym. You know, can you imagine stuck in traffic for 4 hours going to a job that you hate? Oh, no, man. No way. So I'm very blessed to do what I do and be surrounded with people, you know, that the same mission as I am. So, yeah. And, yeah, it's good. Very busy.
That sounds like a great note to leave it on.
Yeah, man.
But before we leave that, where can people watch, if people can buy tickets and watch the fight?
You know, CSN does a great stream as well. They're streaming the show. Without bagging them, there's nothing better than being there live. You know, we can watch anything on TV, on your phone, on your computer. Come on, man. You want to get to the event, watch it. You know, if you can't make it, if you're out of town, great. Hit the stream up on CSN, but try and get to an event, find and get a ticket, come watch it. If you've got a, company, get a table. There's nothing better than being cage side and getting blood all over you and sweat all over you and watching two guys get in the cage and beat the hell out of each other. It's just, all guys just go for that, man.
Yeah.
You know, the show's busy. I've already sold almost 50 tables and we're still 2-3 weeks out. So it's going to be busy. It's going to be a busy show. We got like 18 fights and they're pretty good, man. All of them are good fights. They're mean. So the show's going to be a good night, hey?
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I just want to say thanks as an MMA fan in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Just kind of what you've done for the growth of
man.
MMA in New Zealand. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, Jay.
Cheers, bugger.
I'll see you next time.
Ciao.